Hey friends, welcome back to Homeschool-ology. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4. We are currently in our 8th year of homeschooling with a 7th grader, 3rd grader, and 5 and 3-year-old doing a pre-K level. We are year-round homeschoolers. That's why that has not changed yet. It will change in August when we finish our school year in the last week of July. So we have about another month and a little bit of this age group, but I am going ahead because our summer load is really just kind of finishing up anything that needs to be finished up. I am going to go ahead and kind of clean out. That is what I have a series of videos here of me cleaning out and preparing for the upcoming year, and I am at the part of the kiddos and my teacher manual bins that I need to get rid of everything that we're done with and put in anything new that I have lying around. And so I'm going to share with you in this video today what we used for 8th grade and how everything went and what we liked and what we'll be keeping and what will be going and all of that good stuff. So let me grab those 2 bins. Okay, so this video is 8th grade. If you don't know, we use these little, plastic bins. They no longer carry them, but I got them at Office Depot, but you can try to find something similar to them to store their curriculum for the year or like what they're working on. So I'm going to just be going through this and pulling out things that we are done with and all of that good stuff. So this is a bag of like puppets and things that we used when we were doing our fairy tales. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out for her portfolio. This was a mushroom activity. She said she wanted to learn about mushrooms. I found this little like create your own comic book activity. She hasn't done it. I'm going to go ahead and throw it back in this thing because she might work on it at some point. Daily paragraph editing. We had got this before I discovered Fix-It Grammar. And we love Fix-It Grammar. So she really didn't do that much in here. I think I'm gonna hang on to it in her bucket and see if maybe we get to some of them next year. I'm not counting on it, but this is the Stargazer notebook from Real Science Odyssey. We were supposed to do the Real Science Odyssey astronomy lessons. We did do them for like the first maybe half of it, and then we just it wasn't our jam, so we kind of let it go. So I have her notebook where she did do some of that. This Stargazer notebook, we didn't do any of it though. I think I might leave it in here because she got a telescope for her birthday for her last birthday, so we may or may not be using that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that in there. This is her reading journal that I made for her, and she just goes through and answers some questions about each book that she read. And so I'm going to leave this in here because she's going to use it until she's filled it up. This is a Titanic coloring book that we used. I don't know that I'm going to leave it in her bin. I think I might let her take this to her room and use it up there. This is our little planner for last year. I'm going to pull that out because I'm going to create a new one for this year. This has her... Oh, okay, so this is like activities that we're currently working on in our unit study, and she has like a paragraph editing, proofreading thing back here. So this folder is going to stay here. It's just resources for what we use. Okay, this was her checklist for the yearbook that she worked on. She was on the yearbook committee, and so I'm going to pull that out. We don't need that anymore. This clipboard has what we're working on, like her activities for her current unit. So I'm going to put that back in there because we're not quite done with it yet. And then she has her sequential spelling book. let's go ahead and talk about sequential spelling. I've talked about it a few times before. I do like it. I like that it's simple, easy. You just read words, you correct them as you go. If they make any mistakes, it shows like patterns in words, and I love all that. It does not include spelling rules, and sometimes she'll be like, why is it spelled this way? And because spelling is not my strong suit, I'm like, I have no idea. And so I really wish that they provided that. You do not need this to do the sequential spelling. For the next level, I just bought the teacher manual because that is all you need. This is the word list basically. The only thing that's extra in this book is that it has these little like activity pages on the back. We never really did those. I did not find this useful or helpful. It was not worth it to me, and it's huge, and so we are running out of space. I don't need something this big, so I did not pick that up for the next level. I just picked up the sequential, just the teacher manual book. So that is kind of my review on that. I know I've talked about it tons before, but I will say it again. Love Fix-It Grammar, love Fix-It Grammar, love Fix-It Grammar. We are most of the way through. She uses highlighters because she really likes doing that. So it's we do it a little bit differently than what they tell you to in the book. But we're like literally almost done with this. This is what we need to finish up through the next month and a half or so. So this is gonna go back into her bucket, and when I need to order the next level up, and that will just be what goes in here instead of that book when we are finished with that book. Let me get her math because it's out. We're doing Saxon Algebra 1. So she has her textbook and her notebook where she puts her, like does all her work on. I forgot to mention that she does have this notebook in here that's like for Brave Writer, where we do like handwriting and things like that. So she has those two notebooks in there. This is my solutions manual that I need to put back on the shelf. That is her bin. It's a little bare right now because we are just wrapping up the last couple of things. So I will be adding more to her bin later, but this is what her bin looks like now, all cleaned out and fresh. Moving on to my teacher manual bin. Oh, I need to put this in her. I ended up, my sister did homeschooling this year, and I told her to get a copy of this. They didn't like it, so she gave it to me. So now I actually have 2 copies of this, one for each of my girls. We're only about halfway through the book, so I'm going to go ahead and let them start writing in it, because they're not really that expensive. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this book back in her bin. Okay, moving on to my bin. Here's her sequential spelling for next year. It's little, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in along with her one for this year that we're finishing up, and my teacher manual for her is right there. I think I'm going to go ahead and put my teacher manual for math here as well, because I do end up using it a lot. Algebra, it's been a long time for me, so I kind of need the help a little bit along. The next 2 books I have in here are the philosophy book that we've been working through for a few years. I found this Fallacy Detective. Don't know if it's secular. I've been looking through it. I haven't seen anything that I don't necessarily agree with, but I will keep you posted on this. We are going to go ahead and try it out since I did buy it. And so those 2 things are here. Let's see. Astronomy teacher guide. I know I don't need that anymore. We didn't care for it all that much. This is the astronomy, the other grade level. I don't know if I'm going to hang on to it or if I'm going to let it go. It wasn't that it was bad. It's not that it's bad at all. It's just, I don't know. We just didn't love it. We didn't do it. And so that to me is like, do I need to keep it for my other kiddos? Because if we didn't do it with my big girls, are we going to do it with my little kids? I don't know. So I have those 2. I'll probably put them in storage for right now. But we'll see. I have all of my art books here, teaching art through books kids love, which we absolutely love, are my copy of Teaching Art to Children, which we absolutely love, and then my geography through art, which we absolutely love. I'm going to keep these here because we do pull them out every once in a while when we want to do a math activity, or math, an art activity. I have my jotted down in my partnership writing from Brave Writer. These are older copies, that's why they don't look the way that they used to. I think I'm going to leave those here too, because I will pull a writing assignment out of them every once in a while. This is just like information that I had printed out here for planning purposes. So I'm going to leave that in here for now. I also have just like a notebook for me to take notes on. This is our planners. I think I split them up this year. I don't think I'm going to do that again. I think I'm going to go back to one planner for everybody again next year. Let's see. This is our next Brave Writer, Sisters of the Never See. That's what we're going to do. So that's going to stay. Have our weekly checklist from last year. Our budget guide from last year, so all of that can go. This is my daily paragraph editing teacher manual, so that I'm going to leave in here. I talked about spelling UC. I talked about fixed grammar. We had done math UC pre-algebra for the majority of the year. She did just switch to algebra. That's why algebra's in her bin. That went really well. And let's see. And then we were doing the unit studies. I have several videos on like what I plan to use and what we did for most of the unit studies that we did. I do have one coming up on like planning the next unit study. So make sure you've subscribed so you can see that. But all of those unit studies went really well. We really enjoyed them. Basically what I did was I got the History Smashers book. We kind of put them in order on like a timeline, except we started with the Titanic because that's what she loved. And we read the women one. I didn't do a whole unit on that, the women's suffrage one, because we did that we just read the book during Women's History Month last year. And that's when she fell in love with these. And so I just got the History Smasher book. I found these Dear America journals. That's like a girl during that time, during different time frames, like a girl's journal. She loves that. So this was kind of like our main spine. And then I would pull some other things in. Like we really are enjoying this King George book right now. And then like some of these like little readers and things like that I actually just have lying around. Like we went to Betsy Rotz's house in Philadelphia and we picked this up there, so I pulled these out. We just kind of read through those and do activities. That went really well. Like it went super well. We were able to dive into deeper to these concepts and it worked great. The only reason we're not continuing with that is because there's only 2 more books out right now. And so we kind of just don't have enough to keep doing that process. And so that's the only reason why we're not continuing it, but it went super, super well. So we really enjoyed that. So my cart is looking much better here. That was kind of basically our year. I think that's everything that we said that we were going to do. We did most of what we said we were going to do except for the loop subjects. Like we were going to continue working on geography. We did in the beginning of the year, but we didn't finish that. Like, that kind of trailed off a little bit. What our loop was supposed to be. I might have it here. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So this is what we had planned to do. So it was like art and then geography fairy tales and then writing and then geography fairy tales. That was what we were supposed to do. We didn't even make it one. I think we made it one cycle through this, like one time, and then it just kind of died off. So great idea. Didn't really work. Gonna try to work on something different for next year. But everything else went pretty well. Let me just double check this. As I'm cleaning out my card, I have these from last year. So math went well. Lightning literature, spelling, fixed grammar, all of that went well. Independent reading, she's been doing fine. We've been doing word roots, philosophy. Science was kind of a bust. History went super well, and then loop subjects was a bust for her. So that was our 7th grade year, and I can't believe it's coming to an end. And yeah, so I hope you found any of this helpful. I know it's kind of like a little bit of chaos. I feel like my whole life is just chaos right now. There's books everywhere, things off the shelf everywhere. But hopefully you found this helpful. I would love to hear how your year went. Did you have a 7th grader this year? Did it go well? Or when you had 7th grade, did it go well? Where are my soon-to-be 8th graders, high schoolers at? Raise your hand. Drop me a raised hand emoji in the comments, because this is getting real, guys. It's getting real. So thank you for coming along with me today. I hope you will come back and chat with me again soon. Don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram at Homeschool-ology, and I will talk to you guys real soon.